Hello everyone and welcome to the Manufacturers Cup. This is round 5 of season 12. I jumped in at round 4, signed for Aston Martin, mainly because of the GTA livery. We've got a liveried car now, it's kind of nice to use that. But this is round 5 and I'm showing you a full race. The first time I think I've shown you a full race in GT Sport, or it's one of a few times because only I do extended highlights. This is a cracking race. Now you may have seen my fastest lap in this car. I spent up 30 minutes getting that. That was a 2:06.7, and the Aston is the faster car here. I've got an M4 behind me, a TX3 Devil, and we've also got Indian food in there as well. As we head towards the first corner, as you can see, it's got slipstream, but obviously this car's quite powerful, so it's much harder for the M4 to get alongside as we're coming into the first corner. Look at the radar first of all. TX3 Devil goes to that, but he gets slammed into by Indian food there. Slight contact there between the two. It completely put me off there, so I've now given space on the inside to both drivers. TX3 Devil gives me just enough room there. Fair play. In my opinion, Indian food should have given that position back. He's hit TX3 Devil off. He should not be in the lead because that was a big hit as well. Even so, we continue racing. TX3 Devil hasn't lost too many positions, so he can still fight for the victory. As you look on the TV camera there, all the cars so close. This track very hard to run in dirty air because the barriers are there, so he's more than likely going to understeer into the barrier, and you see sparks on the TV camera occasionally. That's literally it. You see Indian Food's just had a bit of a gap there. TX3 Devil right behind me, but I've got the slipstream of Indian Food at the moment. But I just clicked the barrier there. TX3 Devil goes on the inside of the top. I just use a bit of sense there and intelligence just to give him the position. We've got 8 laps. I'm in a faster car. I can keep up irrespective of the slipstream. We've got Ferrari behind us now as well. Now, as you come to this last corner on this track, always stick to the inside on the first lap. It's my tip of the day there. On this track, always stick to the inside because as you'll hear in a minute, smashing. You can see the radar arrows going everywhere. Always stick to the inside because there's always one ever. Maybe he's missed his braking point, I don't know, but it always happens. He just fires in full blast and wipes half the field out. But there's going to be a bit of a theme this week actually with the videos. It's all about smart driving. You can see he puts his hazards on there, Devil. I'm not sure whether he's just saying go by, I want you to go by or not. I'm not really too sure. I'm not sure whether he's saying sorry for something, but he's going to need to say sorry to me, for example. But we're flying up now, so Devil's got my slipstream, and you can see I've got Indian Food slipstream. You can see the difference here. The Aston in the slipstream, we've got so much more speed, straight down the inside, through into first position on this second lap as we head towards the first corner again. Brake mark for this first corner is just before the 100 metre board, so it's about 120. I'm turning in third gear, nice and easy. Try and trail brake in, make sure that the front just get round there as you saw. Round here, try and get on the throttle as early as you can because it's a big long acceleration period, and one of the things with this track is you gain a little bit more speed out of a corner, you're going to gain so much more time. So that 2:06.7 I showed you with my fastest lap. As you can see, Indian Food is right behind me here. Now he does a smart thing, he stays behind. This isn't an overtaking spot. Try and go for an overtaking move here, it's going to be chaos. And the Aston is really good in that chicane, so you see I do gain a bit of an advantage there. Obviously dirty air plays an effect, so he obviously has to back out a little bit more. As I was saying, I was on a 2:06.7, but I've actually been 3 attempts up on that, and I think a 2:06.1 or 2:06.2 is possible on this track. I'd say I spent 30 minutes on that to get that time, and I saw faster. So as we come into here, 4th gear corner in this car, nice and easy. This is technically full throttle if you get it right. I just go half just to make sure I don't hit the barrier, as we did on the I think we did it on the first lap. But we continue on. You can see Indian Food closing in now, got the slipstream. M4 better in the corners as we come to this last turn. Just braking. So I run deep, he runs deep as well, so misses his braking point there completely. Devil nicely done on the inside, fully predicts that. However, the Aston's got really good. It's really powerful, this Aston Martin Group 4 car, really powerful, and the rear end isn't too shabby either, so you can really put the power down. But we come out that corner, still in second place, so now it's sort of like test runs. Can we overtake Indian Food if we're in second by the start finish line? The answer is yes. As you can see, we're going to be a 10th up already, just finishing that 2:07.1 there with the lap time, so a pretty good lap there. That would actually be rank 1 technically if I wasn't rank 1 on the top 10 leaderboard. So you can see we are pushing quite hard here, and we are bringing the M4s with us. as we head towards the first corner again. So we're going defensive here a little bit. I want to try and get in the lead, and I want to try and pull away. I can pull away in all the corners. It's just that I've got to pull away and hope that Indian makes a little bit of a mistake. But I make a bit of a mistake there. I'm not sure whether I was tapped or not, actually. It had been very close to a tap, but even so, we continue on in first position. 4 attempts up now, but the M4 really good on just powering out the exit. It is really good at doing that. It's just the Aston's got a bit more grunt on the straights. When it really gets going, the Aston can just fly, basically, as we come through this right-hander now. Look at that, 7 attempts down, so you can see the mistake there in that first sector. Coming through here again, look at this. So close to the walls, but we're doing this very nicely. So you can see Indian dropping down. Now we're down to a half a second is the advantage, but the M4 is much better in this tighter section as we come through here. You can do this flat if you nail it to perfection. This is why I say there's a really fast lap time in there. If you nail it to perfection, it is flat and an ultra fast lap. You can see we're over half a second up now, just powering through there. It's up to 6 attempts. You can see he's battling with TX3 Devil there as we come around this slight left. Now I brake on the second sign, just before it in this case, and because I broke a little bit too early, I had to come off and go back on, and just lost a little bit there. Too much oversteer on exit. Look at the amount the M4 gains on me there, and now we've got the power down. We can continue on, and yeah, it's very close. This is the end of lap number 3, going into lap number 4, so it's been close with the action, but trust me, it gets a whole lot closer in this second half of the race as we continue on, heading towards the line. What lap time are we going to get? 2:07.7, so still in the top 10 lap times, even with some of those mistakes as well. You can see the M4 of Indian Food very close now. Look at the times on the left hand side, 0.06, so he's going for the bit of a slipstream bumper. He wants to break away from Devil, wants to make this a 2-way fight rather than a 3-way fight. Problem is with him doing that, Devil is keeping up. Unfortunately, it's just the way the circuit is here as we come into the first corner, so I have to go slightly defensive. I don't want to lose this position. As I say, I want to break away. I have the ability to break away here. I start putting in one of my 2:06 laps, I'm going to break away quite easily. I just have to do that in a race, which can be hard. As I say, you lose a little bit on a corner, you lose a lot on the straights. And we are thinking about the final lap here already. So yes, we're on lap 4, but we've got to think here. We've got Devil and Indian Food with us here. The rest of the field now has gone a little bit. We've just got to think about these 2 drivers and how we can win this race. But through once again we go, nice and easily done. We gain through there, as I say, each lap we gain through there, and we come to this fast right-hander. You can see I go for it flat out there. Just lost a bit of courage at the exit there. Again, I'm just coming through here. Very close to the wall, very close, but the M4 still came up with. It's really frustrating this, because at the moment I really wanted to break away. That's my tactic at the moment, my strategy. But as I say, the whole thing this week is about racing smart, because yes, you can race harder but you'll make more mistakes, but you can race smarter and actually improve your results just by racing smarter. So you can see Devil looks like he was initially going for the move up the inside, doesn't do it. Indian very good on the brakes there. That M4 is really good on the brakes. Just loses the rear end a little bit there, so I accelerate out of there, and all fair game again. I keep accelerating out of there. It says we're up on our lap time here. I'm not sure we're 6 attempts up on our lap time, but even so, we continue on towards the line. Just while we're on this start-finish straight a little bit, you can just see Indian starting to gain on me a little bit there. The bop with the Porsche, that was actually meant to be the first video. The bopping with the Porsche. Oh, 2:06.8, look at that, how cool. That was meant to be the first video today of the bopping that I'm going to do the bopping myself, but I've come up with a different plan. I'm off next week and the week after, so you're going to get a bop video every day plus another video while I'm off, so I hope you enjoy that. But look at Indian Food now go to the inside as we head towards the first corner again. We're going to lose this position, so we break a bit earlier. I'm going to give him the position there. Hopefully he runs wide. He does indeed, so I can go for that cutback. Look at that. Are we going to make this cutback work is the question. Side by side, very close racing, giving room on the outside. Devil now on the right hand side, so I'm going to come back behind Indian, slight tap there. Come back behind Indian. Indian then slightly taps Indian. That puts Devil into the barrier. Oh, this is so close racing now. Now the problem here is the M4 is better under brakes, so I can't judge this very well because the cars are so close to me. And what's going to happen? I'm just going to run slightly wide. Just clip the barrier. Devil tries to avoid me, And Devil clips a barrier as well. I literally could not do a thing there. Being in the middle car with less than a tenth either side, it was like half a tenth. I've got, what, God knows how close it was. I'd have to get like a replay of that up. Because it was so close, Devil just clips a barrier there as well. Going to lose more time. But because it was so close, I can't brake without hitting the guy behind. Because I'm in a completely different car. It's a completely different braking point. And I also can't, like, wait. I can't, like, go... do you know what I mean? It's so close between the two cars. I can't do what I want to do because one driver is going to get impacted. So I have to wait for the lead driver to do what he does, and that forces understeer. Now, if I was Devil, I'd have probably backed out a little bit, but honestly, great effort for all three of us to try and get through there. But I'd have probably backed out a little bit, let the Aston driver decide what he wants to do. He's got the worst brakes, so it's better to let him decide. Back off a little bit, let him decide, and then make your move. You can always make the move. We've got loads of laps, but at this point, he's losing out in the slipstream, and he's over a second behind me now, so he has been dropped here, and for him to catch up is going to take me and Indian fighting. As you can see, I'm gaining on Indian like no tomorrow, and that's without the slipstream. Now I'm in the slipstream. That gap is just going to drop an absolute ton. Oh, by the way, shout out, position 8, Twizzy is back on Gran Turismo Sport. Yo, Twizzy, welcome back. Good to see you back. And I expect to be racing Twizzy at some point because dude's a legend. But even so, back to this race. You can see we've caught up to Indian just on that straight there. You know, that's the power of this Aston Martin. M4 better in the corners, Aston better in the straights. So through here we go. Indian clips the barrier a little bit there. Does he gain an advantage? No, he doesn't, but of course we do on the straight. So straight back on the power round this left-hander. We've got 3 laps to decide now what we're going to do. We've already done one test of whether we can out-accelerate Indian to the line at the last corner, and we know we can do that. We're going to do that test again just to make sure, because we have the ability to do. We've got 3 laps to test this, or 2.5 now, but we've got 2 laps of testing and then the final lap to make it count. You see Indian really pushing hard, clipping the barriers everywhere here, and don't come off the throttle at all there, just some half throttle, make sure I get round. We're up on our time as we come into here again. You can see I let off a little bit because I have to brake earlier, I have to let off earlier, and the thing when following drivers as well, this is one thing that always gets me, especially in the lower down driver ratings, and you'll see people complain about this. They'll be like, oh, he's brake tested me, oh, he's done this. Well, to be honest, in the lower driving ratings, as I look to go on the inside, just pull it back. So now I'm going to do a test. I'm going to do a test here. This is a perfect run for a test. As we accelerate out, can we do it from running wide and getting a much better exit? But while this happens, just as I was explaining, with the lower driver ratings, if you're right behind somebody, their braking point is not going to be the same as an alien's. So you've watched Top 10 time, you've seen that. Okay, that's fair enough. You're going to have to let off, brake half, just do 50% braking and understand it a little bit. Just as we come to the line here, are we going to overtake India before the line? We are indeed. That's the second test, so we know we can do it, right? No harm here. I'm pretty sure I've got this. Irrespective of where I am on the track, I just have to avoid collisions. It's the only thing I've got to avoid, and I should have the win. So that's my strategy from this point on. We've got lap 7 and lap number 8. But yeah, as I say, in the lower driver ratings, it's always better just to let off. Yeah, you may lose a tenth on the corner because you've let off earlier. You're not going 100% of the time, but even so, that doesn't matter. India went for a bit of a dive bomb there, so that's why I gave him a bit of room. And through I go again. As I say, I'm not worried at this point. As long as I stay behind Indian, I don't care. Just don't make a mistake. But always give people a bit of breathing room. Give people a bit of breathing room, and you'll actually race better. You see Indian sort of lets me go there a little bit. It's kind of weird. So he's obviously practicing his strategies as well. I know my strategy at this point anyway. If I'm in the lead, more chances or not, I'm going to take the victory anyway. Or if I'm in second, it's guaranteed because we've tested it twice and it seems to have worked. So, and we know the slipstream's much harder for the M4 to catch up than the other way around. So we can just keep racing as we are at the moment. I'm in no rush. As we come into this right-hander. Right-hander. Why does I say left-hander? Don't know. I went to the left to go to right. And through we go. So we've got one more lap. Are we going to get this victory? At this moment, I'm pretty frustrated a little bit because I should be miles ahead. But the slipstream's helping these guys stay up, which is fair enough. It makes for a good race, doesn't it? So I brake really late here. I do this on purpose, by the way. I want to sort of see what Indian's going to do. It's all strategy at this point. Racing smarter. If you brake late, will he go for it? Will he not? So he's right behind me at this point. So this is the other strategy to test. I've already tested the other way around, me behind. Can Indian catch me up? So it's about, you can see it on the left, 0.172, 0.165, 0.162. Can he catch me up as we head towards the start finish line? That gap is shrinking very quickly. And he's testing this as well. I can tell he's testing it. He can't. This is why I'm very confident on this last lap. I've just seen he can't catch me out the last corner, even though he's very close behind me. And we know, after 2 laps, that we can catch him out the last corner if we're second. So either position here is solid for us. We just don't want any mistakes as we head towards the first corner. You can see he's staying behind me at the moment. He's purposely staying behind me. Goes to the inside. So I'm braking, just letting him go through there. Then I think, yeah, I'll go for the cutback. Why not? Go for the cutback. I'm on the inside. It's all nice and lovely on this inside. We keep going round. We accelerate round. He's got a bit more momentum because he had a bit of a better line. We continue on now. So I'm thinking I'll just stay on the outside here. That's no biggies. I can stay on this middle lane. No problem. Slight contact there. He's a bit loose there. It's a bit scary, to be honest. But I keep going. He lets off. So I know he's up to a bit of a strategy here. I don't know what his strategy is at this point, other than him trying to get slipstream out the last corner and try and absolutely blitz me. Which means he'll have to have a bloody good last corner. So we continue on. And at this point, because I'm thinking, did he just do the last corner wrong? I am actually thinking, believe it or not, to run wide on the last corner. I am thinking that. That's part of my strategy. So if he's really close to me at that point, that is exactly what I'm going to do, and that's my theory behind it. And as you can see, I just hit the wall there. So now I'm looking at the gap. I can see that gap coming down. So I instantly know that he's either going to try and stay behind me or he's going to overtake me. Right? And I know what I'm going to do, which is why I brake really late. And look at that. I leave the door wide open, completely wide open. But I get the best of both worlds in this situation. Look at this, side by side. It's a guaranteed victory. And the only thing I was a bit worried about was that exit there, because that was very scary and close. It's a guaranteed victory at this point. So we accelerate towards the line. And we're going to get this victory. And I hope you enjoyed this race. As I say, I don't put these races up too much. However, that was a good race, good race, very close, and a smart race as well. We had the strategy nailed there. So as I say, I hope you enjoyed that. There's a video playlist there if you want to watch another one. My logo's there if you want to subscribe. But that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.